Powell predicts when Americans will feel ripple effects from Trump's global tariffs. Rob, if you got this clip, I think you got a clip on this, if you can play, because Trump calls for Fed's Powell to cut interest rates and stop playing politics. That's what Trump said, okay? On the same exact day when Trump says this, okay, President Trump urged Federal Jerome Powell to cut the rates on Friday on Truth Social. This would be perfect time for Federal Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, inflation is down, even egg is down 69%, and jobs are up, urging cut interest rates, Jerome, and stop playing politics. That's Trump, and this is what Jerome Powell said. Go ahead and play that clip, Rob.
We have stressed that it will be very difficult to assess the likely economic effects of higher tariffs until there is greater certainty about the details, such as what will be tariffed, at what level, and for what duration, and the extent of any retaliation from our trading partners. While uncertainty remains elevated, it is now becoming clear that tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. And the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth. The size and duration of these effects remains uncertain. While tariffs are highly likely to generate at least a temporary rise in inflation, it's also possible that the effects could be more persistent. Avoiding that outcome would depend on keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored, on the size of the effects, and on how long it takes for them to pass through fully to prices. Our obligation is to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored and to make certain that a one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. We'll continue to carefully monitor the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. We're well positioned to wait for greater clarity before considering any adjustments to our policy stance. It is too soon to say what will be the appropriate path for monetary policy.
Tom.
Excuse me.
Tom, I just said your name. Brandon, go ahead. Brandon, go ahead.
Tom's
Brandon.
getting very emotional over Jerome Powell.
Yeah, so
Tom,
Give
you
me
okay?
1 second.
Yeah. So I got you. So with this, I think that we don't need to cut rates right now because I think we're going to take care of the inflation just fine with what's going to happen with the market. So I think just as a result of the market going down, like oil's already below $60 a barrel, so inflation's going to go down. I don't understand how people are trying to make the argument that tariffs are both going to make the stock market go down and cause inflation. Like, no, we're not going to have inflation if the stock market's going down. That's one thing. Two, I don't like Trump telling the Fed what to do with the rates, and I absolutely despise the fact that the Fed controls the rates. I think that's the most communist thing ever, that we have this weird company, this weird private company controlling the price of money for our entire country. I think that the 10-year Treasury should be what we base things off of in terms of interest rates, because I think that's the market telling you what the rate is rather than some weird governing body telling you what the price of money should be. So
you don't like the fact that Trump's telling Fed, but you also don't like the fact that they dictate it.
Yeah.
So what would you like ideally to happen?
So that's what I just said. So like whatever
10-year Treasury?
10-year Treasury should
Right.
basically act as the Fed's federal funds rate, because that's the market telling you that, the market buys and sells. The Treasury market's probably the smartest group of money in the world. So I think that's like a better market-based way of saying what the price of money should be instead of Powell just going in and giving his opinion.
Tom.
Well, what was interesting was the last thing he said. It's too early to determine if these economic forces have impacted monetary policy. He's talking back to the president. The president's saying, you got to do this. You got to do this. He said, it's too early to do it. Well, May 6th and 7th is what they're all aiming at. Write those down. May 6th and 7th, June 17th, 18th. Those are the next two meetings of the Fed. May 6th and 7th is coming up. We're less than a month away now. We're just under a month away. And what Trump wants is, hey, look at all this mayhem. Give me a quarter point. Better yet, give me a half point. That won't happen. But give me a quarter point. And the Fed Board of Governors, it ticked up yesterday where it suddenly was over 25% chance. Like they were all in subvoting, the dot chart. All of a sudden it was like a little bit high. And so maybe there's a 30% chance in May. So what Trump is trying to do is put political pressure on the Fed to look at all of these other statistics and say, yep, let's give a quarter point. Because what does that do? That lets businesses borrow at a lower rate. That lets them borrow money more. And maybe that puts a little more pressure, deeper grok here, on the 10-year or the 30-year in the bond market, which will help mortgages go down, because right now mortgages have got one of the highest spreads they've had in a while. In other words, the bank on the 30-year fixed, I think right now is 6.5, depending on what bank you look at, right around. And Trump wants to see 5.875. He wants to see a 5 because people say 5.875 is the mental barrier that I'm getting a 5 rate. And so take that and do it with what you will. But Trump wants to get a cut on May 6th and 7th, definitely on June 17th, 18th.
Adam.
Well, there's a song that goes, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you get what you need. With Jerome Powell, Trump has met his match. Who appointed Jerome Powell chairman of the Fed? Well, in 2018, Trump did. And for 7 years now, Trump's been trying to dictate, mandate, criticize, condemn Powell, and Powell's just been like, nah, I'm good, bruh. And just does what he wants. Now, you can criticize Powell. You could say he's doing a good job, he's doing a bad job. In my opinion, he's doing a very steady Eddie job. So I love the fact that the president can't just control the chairman of the Fed. So it's called polarity. Trump is all gas. Jerome Powell might be the brakes, right? Thunder and lightning, logic and emotion, order and chaos. Trump wants to go, 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 go. At some point, someone needs to be like, relax. I got this thing over here. We don't want Trump just dictating everything that's going on in this country. We want someone saying, well, look, have you thought about this? I don't know about that. So I'm totally in favor of Jerome Powell doing what's best for America. And Trump will also do what's best for America. And hopefully the two meet in the middle. But until then, I'm cool with Jerome Powell holding the line.
Is the Fed... So they don't. Who do they answer to? Because isn't it an unelected
the banks
body?
own them.
It's the bank.
Like,
It's
Citibank, JP Morgan Chase. All.
So they're not elected. They're chosen, but they answer to themselves.
Well, they're nominated and then elected, and then Jerome Powell has his own term, and the president cannot fire him the same way he can fire all of the cabinet members. Is saying because every cabinet member resigns before they're fired when you change presidents. Jerome Powell, he's not that way. He has a term that he serves out.
Got you.
Why
it's a 10-year term,
I'm just curious because Brandon makes a good point. It's like who are they answering to? How do they have that much control? And I'm not saying I wish Trump could fire anybody or whatever, but if you're just
goes all the way back to you got to read Jekyll Island.
The
By the way,
beast at
we
Jekyll
hosted
Island.
an event at Jekyll Island in the room where the Federal Reserve got started. It's a compound. It's a very interesting, very weird place, filled with trillions of mosquitoes. Okay, if you go to that restaurant right by the water, you're going to be bit from head to toe if you're at this property. But there's a lot of history to this place. Anyways, we're at the end of it, guys. A couple things. This cigar lounge thing this weekend, last weekend, prior weekend, it's been very, very busy, very interesting, a lot of fun. This last Friday night, this place had a lot of interesting guests that have been showing up a lot. Rob, if you can pull up this clip here, well, what this is a highlight from the last couple weeks. Go for it, Rob. Do we have audio? Right there. The audio is paused, Rob. Can you go back? Rob, can you go back? Go for it. Good-looking people, good conversation. Sports, football players, NBA players, producers, people showing up, business people all over the place. Wow. Members only, guys. It's very, very exciting. 3 tiers of membership, silver, gold, and platinum. Rob, what is the website to go to apply? Do you have the website to the boardroom? Is that the QR code right there?
Yes, that's the QR code.
Can you check to see what the website is so I can say to the Spotify audience?
Yep, it's boardroomcigarlounge.com.
Boardroomcigarlounge.com. Boardroomcigarlounge.com. We had a person become a member the other day that's not even from the States, from Brazil. We have people internationally becoming members of this place. And to come and visit, there's benefits to Platinum. We have an announcement to be made here soon for a live event there. But anyways, if you do want to be a member, everybody, there's no phones allowed in this place when you get in. Nobody can have a phone. No one's taking pictures. If everyone's asking and saying, hey, I want to exchange numbers with this person, what do I do? Back in the 80s, you would write it down. So grab a paper and pen. It's really cool. And there's a lot of new surprises. Members know about this. If you want to find out more, apply. Everybody goes through background check. And then some of you guys will get a chance to be there. And I'm there quite often, and we'll get a chance to have a conversation as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.